Welcome. In this video, I'm going to teach you about Python computer language operators for integers and floating point. So let's open idle, our command shell, and we're going to type a few commands. Let me show you the basic. In this video, I'm going to show you the basic operators. So for example, let's say you want to add two numbers, you do 10. For example, you wanna add 10 and 20, you should get 30. So 10 plus 20, you should get 30, and that's what we get. Now let's add two floating points. So for example, 5.5 plus 5.5, we get 11.0. That is correct because 5.5 plus 5.5 is 11.0. Okay, so that's addition. Then for subtraction is a similar way. For example, 20 minus 5 should give us 15. So let's see. Yes, it does give us the integer 15. And now if we do 50 minus 5.5, it should give us 44.5, and that is correct. Yes, we get it. Yes, so that's a floating point. Okay, so now let's see one more. Multiplication. Okay, so 3 times 4 should give us 12. That is correct. That's integer 12 because I don't see any decimal points, so that is correct. Now 5 times 6.5 should give us a floating point, so 6.5, 32.5. That is correct. Yes. Okay. Now let's do division. Division is a little tricky because all these, the plus, minus, and multiplication, they all give you, they work for integer and floating point. But for integer, the division is a little different. So let's say I want to divide 100 divided into 4. You might think that I have to do like this, divided, but it's not correct. What you have to do is you have to put 100 and then double / and then you do 4. It should give us 25. That is correct. That's the way you do. So instead of putting just 1, you put 2 forward / Okay, so now if I want to do floating point division, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, for example, let's say I want to do 10 divided by 4. Now in this case I only put, so let's say I want to do 10.6, 10.0 to 10.0. Okay, so 10.0 divided by 4, that should give us 2.5. Let's see what happens. So if I do divide by only one / I should get 2.5. That is correct. Because notice what I get if I put 10 divided by 4, I don't get 2.5. I get 2 because it's gonna be doing integer division. So I have to put, if I wanna do just floating point, then I have to do 10, only a single one. 10 divided by 4, 2.5. And notice you can mix, when you mix floating point and integer, you get a floating point. And if your output is floating point, you should get a floating point. But of course the correct operator has to be placed. For example, here 1 / I get 2.5, a floating point. Now powers. For example, let's say I want to do 5 to the power of 2. What do I get? I should get 25. What I get? 25. Let's say I want to do 5 to the power of 3. That should give us 125. Let's see. 125. That is correct. Yes. So that is powers. So I believe you can do this with floating points. Let's see. So 3, and then to the power of 2, but instead of, I'm going to put 3.0 to the power of 2, get 9. That is correct, yes. Now if I want to do 2030.5 to the power of 2, there we go, 930.25. But the power has to be an integer. Let's see what happens if you put 17, let's put 5 to the power of 2.0. Let's see if it works. Gives you a floating point, 25. So that is correct, yes. But let's see what happens if I do this. 6 point, I should get the same answer. If I do this one and then I put 2.0, I should get the same answer. 930.25. So it is correct, yes. It does work the same way. One last thing I want to show you is that you can get the, I believe you can get the type of a number. For example, type of 2 should give us integer, class integer. You see the class, that means that the type of the number here 2 is integer, and that is correct because 2 is an integer. So you can type, then in parentheses you put the number. So for example here I'm gonna type, so let's see, let's test you. Okay, so now if I put 67.9, what do you think I should get? Think about it. The type of 67 should be floating point. So let's see. You see, floating point. And I believe you can do the same thing with expressions. For example, 2 to the power of 7 is integer. Yes, you can test your expressions. For example, here 5.5, you type and then the expression, it will tell you the type. Float. That is correct. Yes. So that's all I wanted to teach you in this video. I wanted to show you the different operators, math operators, and the basic math operators for integers and float. There's one more, and I'm gonna show it to you, but that's the last one. So this one is a little different. You probably know it already. It's called modulus. So basically, when you divide, for example, 10 divided by 4, you get 2.5, correct? But let's say if I do integer division, what do I get? 2. So that means that there is a remainder of 2, because 10 divided by 4 is 2. 4 times 2, 8. So remainder 2. So let's say I want to do, to make it more clear, if I divide 10 divided by 3, I should get 3, because 10 divided by 3 is 3. So but there is a remainder of 1. And how do I mathematically, or the computer gets that remainder? I can use an operator called modulus. For example, 10 percentage 3, that gives us the division remainder, integer division remainder of dividing 10 divided by 3, which is 1. The remainder is 1. Let's see what happened with uh, with floating points. So 15, let's say 15.6 divided by, not divided, modulus 3, 0.59. Because what we can test that. For example, we can test this as follows. We can do 15.6 divided by 3 is 5.2, and then 5.2 times 3 equals 15.60. Okay, That means that when you do the modulus, may is interpreted a little different. Let's see so that we can check what does Python modulus modulus operator mean on floating points. The modulus operator works on integers and integer expressions and gives a remainder when the first number is divided by the second. It is the same, works on integers. So you can use according to here, you can also use it for floating points. And I show it to you here. Because 0.59 is basically, you're dividing 15.6 divided by 3, and you get a remainder of 0.59, which is close to 0.60, which is the remainder. Alright, so that's what I wanted to show you. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe, please.